Have you ever prayed with all your heart, pouring out your soul, only to be met with what feels like silence? You wait, you listen, you look for a sign, but nothing comes. It's a lonely and confusing place to be, isn't it? You start to wonder, God, are you even there? Do you hear me? Do you care? If you've ever felt this way, I want you to know you are not alone. This experience of divine silence is something countless people of faith have wrestled with throughout history. It's easy to have faith when the blessings are flowing, when prayers are answered quickly, and when you can clearly see God's hand in your life. But what about the seasons in between? The long, quiet waiting periods? This is where the real test of faith happens. It's in these moments of perceived silence that we are invited to trust not just in God's power, but in His timing. Think about the story of Abraham and Sarah. God promised them a son, a descendant as numerous as the stars. But what happened? Years turned into decades. They got so old that the idea of having a child became physically impossible, laughable even. Can you imagine their conversations? The doubt that must have crept in. Did we hear God correctly? Maybe we misunderstood. Yet, the Bible tells us that, against all hope, Abraham in hope believed. He held on to the promise, even when all evidence pointed to the contrary. And at the perfect, divinely appointed time, Isaac was born. God wasn't silent because He had forgotten. He was silent because He was working on a timeline far grander than Abraham could have ever imagined. Or consider Joseph. He had a dream from God that his family would one day bow down to him. What was the immediate result of this divine promise? He was sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused and thrown into prison. For 13 years, his reality was the complete opposite of his dream. Where was God in the pit? Where was God in the prison? It might have seemed like God had abandoned him, but every single step of that painful journey was a necessary part of the path. Each trial was shaping his character, teaching him humility, forgiveness, and administration, preparing him to become the second most powerful man in Egypt and save a nation from famine. God's silence wasn't absence, it was preparation. Sometimes God's silence is not a no, but a not yet. He sees the whole picture, the entire tapestry of our lives, while we can only see the one tangled thread in front of us. Perhaps we're not ready for the thing we're asking for. Maybe there's a lesson we need to learn in the waiting, a part of our character that needs to be refined. Patience, perseverance, and a deeper reliance on Him are often forged in the fires of waiting. If we got everything we wanted the moment we asked for it, we might become spiritually weak or entitled. The waiting period strengthens our faith muscles. Think of it like a farmer planting a seed. After planting, the farmer doesn't dig up the seed every day to see if it's growing. He waters it, he tends to the soil, and he trusts the process that is happening unseen, beneath the surface. He knows that growth is taking place in the dark and the quiet. Our seasons of waiting are like that. God has planted a promise in our hearts, and even when we can't see any outward growth, something crucial is happening beneath the surface. He is working. So, what can we do in these seasons of silence? First, stay in His Word. The Bible is full of promises and stories of God's faithfulness. When you can't hear His voice directly, read His recorded words. Remind yourself of His character, that He is good, He is loving, and He is faithful. Immerse yourself in the Psalms, where David cries out to God in his own moments of feeling abandoned, yet always returns to a posture of praise and trust. Second, keep praying. Don't let the silence stop you from talking to Him. Be honest. Tell Him you feel distant. Tell Him you're struggling. Prayer isn't just about getting answers. It's about maintaining a relationship. It's about staying connected, even when you feel like you're the only one talking. Your persistence honors Him and demonstrates your faith. Third, look for God's faithfulness in the small things. While you're waiting for the big breakthrough, don't miss the daily graces. The beauty of a sunset, a kind word from a friend, a moment of peace. These are little whispers from God, reminding you that He is still with you, still caring for you in countless ways. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, and it can be a powerful antidote to the discouragement that comes with waiting. And finally, trust his timing. This is the hardest part, but it's the most crucial. We have to surrender our own timetables, our own expectations of how and when things should happen. Isaiah 55:8 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, none declares the Lord." His plan is always better than ours, and his timing is always perfect. He might be protecting you from something you can't see, or preparing you for something greater than you've asked for. If you are in a season of silence right now, take heart. God has not forgotten you. He has not abandoned you. He is with you in the waiting. This quiet period is not a punishment. It's a sacred space for your faith to deepen and your trust to grow. Hold on to the promise, keep watering the seed. Trust the process happening beneath the surface. Like Abraham, Joseph, and so many others, you will one day look back and see how every moment of silence was part of a beautiful, perfectly timed plan. His delay is not a denial. Trust his timing. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope this message brought some encouragement to your heart. If it did, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. We'd love to have you as part of our community. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next video.